In this video, I'm gonna show you a fractal analysis that I made that could show us that Bitcoin is gearing up for a huge breakout all the way up to these levels. I also want to show you this report by Bloomberg, and listen to this. Bloomberg reports that they think that the Bitcoin price is going to go above 20,000 before the end of this year. They even say that Bitcoin could go to 28,000 before the end of this year. So just a few months away. And as if that wasn't enough, Adam Back just said that he believes that this current crisis will push the Bitcoin price to $300,000 even without institutions. What if we play a little bit with these lines here? If we put this up like this will give us an upwards trending channel here. Basically what we see here is Bitcoin having an uptrend, and then we see this upwards trending channel. And the question is, are we going to break to the upside here or break to the downside here? And I want to show you one point in history that could give us a clue as to where Bitcoin is going. If we scroll back here to back in 2019, Bitcoin had this big pump to the upside, and then Bitcoin started to actually trend to the upside within this actually channel. And we can also see up here that Bitcoin formed another channel. And if you were following my videos back here, you might remember that because of this channel here, I was able to accurately predict that Bitcoin is most likely going to break up here. Now, what if this point where Bitcoin went bullish there back in 2019, what if that is similar to what we saw right here? It is possible, and well, in that case, this upward trending channel could be this first upward trending channel that we saw back here right after the previous spike up. And well, this would all make sense because we did see a large capitulation back there, which later led to this bull run. And as you can see back here, we had an equally big capitulation, or this was actually much bigger, but it is very similar nonetheless. So we have big capitulation, and then we see this pump, and it's possible that we are right now initiating this big bull run. Obviously, for this to play out, we need to break through this major resistance area, this green resistance box. As long as we're below this box, I am still going to remain cautious. But if we do break above this level, then I am going to be very bullish. And I think that if we break this level, then we are most likely going to see a huge push up towards 14,000 very quickly, which is the previous local high here, and potentially a huge push towards 20,000, because this area up here is going to be very volatile. There's not a lot of volume traded here. So guys, please leave your comments down below. Do you think that this theory is very far-fetched, or do you believe that it's possible that this fractional analysis that I found here could have some kind of significance? Because I do think we have some similarities here, right? We have the capitulation, big pump up, and this potential upwards trending channel here. So yeah, leave your comments down below. Thank you very much. And next up, look at this. The stock markets are completely pumping. This is actually really insane. This is the German stock market, and in just one day, let me just go to the daily chart here. In one day, the German stock market went up, look at this, almost 3% here in just one day. Look at this also. This is the S&P 500 also pumping right now, and this is just super ridiculous considering how the world is looking right now. And let me just show you NASDAQ also, because the NASDAQ is currently getting very close to the all-time highs. Look at this, pushing towards all-time highs. And guys, do you think that in any sane environment, stock markets would be pushing towards all-time high right now, as we have record unemployment, and we're seeing riots in the streets in the US, we're seeing global instability? It is very obvious that the financial markets, the stock markets, are diverging from the economy, and we know exactly why. It's because of all of the money printing. This is the Euro Stocks Index showing us the stocks for the Eurozone area, and you can see how we are currently getting a huge rebound after the big plunge here. But what I'm saying here is that I think that it just doesn't make sense that stocks are going up currently. But we find the evidence, or we find the reason for this right here. This is the ECB balance sheet, or the European Central Bank balance sheet, and this shows us how much money they are printing. And you can see how we're currently seeing a huge surge in the amount of euros getting printed, and these euros are getting directly pumped straight into the stock market here to keep the stock markets from falling. So this is the reason, and this is why the financial markets are diverging from the economy, because they are artificially keeping stocks up to make it seem like the economy is not falling while the economy is falling like a stone. And here you can see money printing versus economic activity. The more money they print, the less economic activity we get, it seems. I mean, you can see that at the very least money printing has no effect on the economy, and this is because when you print money out of nothing, you're just stealing purchasing power from other units in circulation. You're not creating value. And next up, big report from Bloomberg. They have made a big Bitcoin analysis here, and I want to show you a few key points that are very, very important. First of all, it's a very bullish report. They do say that Bitcoin is most likely going to reach 20,000 before the end of the year, maybe even 28,000 before the end of the year. And look at this, they're using words as something needs to go really wrong for Bitcoin not to appreciate. So for example, they say here, history indicates Bitcoin towards 20,000 in 2020. Bitcoin is mirroring the 2016 return to its previous peak. That was the last time supply was halved and the third year after a significant peak. Our graphic depicts Bitcoin marking time for a third year following the parabolic 2017 rally. After 2014, 60% decline. By the end of 2016, the crypto about matched the 2013 peak. Fast forward 4 years, and the second year after the almost 75% decline in 2018, Bitcoin will approach the record high of about 20,000 this year in our view, if it follows 2016's trend. They're also mentioning here that Grayscale is absorbing a big part of the Bitcoin supply. They say that exchange-traded instruments led by GBTC are absorbing a significant portion of the supply, indicating dipped buyers and higher prices. As measured by assets under management, the trust is by far the largest crypto asset exchange-traded instrument. So far this year, its increased AUM has consumed about 25% of the new Bitcoin mined coins versus less than 10% in 2019. And look at this, they also use some on-chain fundamental analysis saying that the Bitcoin addresses reached highest since 2018. You can see here how this orange line is going into new highs here, and the only time that was higher was the peak of the 2017 bubble. So we're clearly seeing more and more people entering into crypto right now, and it's only a matter of time before we see the price follow. And Bloomberg predicts that the Bitcoin price will be above 20,000 at the end of this year. So the fact that Bloomberg is using here these on-chain indicators clearly shows that they understand what Bitcoin is. They understand the value of on-chain analysis. This is something that I do on my channel every now and then, also because this is something that is very, very interesting. On-chain analysis is something that basically only can be done in crypto, only on Bitcoin, because you have no such transparency anywhere else in the world. And looking at the total Bitcoin addresses is one of the examples of how you can do this on-chain analysis. Next up, podcaster Joe Rogan uses crypto-powered Brave browser. This is something that he revealed in front of 2 million viewers in his latest podcast, giving crypto some exposure on basically a very, very watched podcast. Essentially, his guest says that they are using Brave, and then Rogan said that he also uses Brave along with DuckDuckGo. It was a very, very quick mention, but I want to tell you guys that if you haven't used Brave, or if you are interested in it, make sure to go down below this video in the description and pinned comment. You can click the link and this will take you to Brave. It's completely free to use Brave. It's a browser where all of your ads will be blocked, and they even block the ad blocker pop-ups that come up sometimes. So Brave is an amazing browser, and the Brave browser was developed by JavaScript creator and Mozilla founder Brendan Eich. It's very, very similar to Google Chrome, but has a privacy-centric twist. And users can also opt into receiving select ads and receive cryptocurrency rewards in the form of BAT tokens. So when you scroll around and use the Brave browser, you can get rewards in BAT tokens. So click the link down below, download Brave, and start using it today. It is the only browser that I use nowadays. And next up, Adam Back says that crisis will push Bitcoin to $300,000 even without institutions. And some people claim that he's Satoshi Nakamoto. He continues to deny this, but he says that Bitcoin can reach 300,000 within 5 years. He says it might not require additional institutional adoption because the current environment is causing more individuals to think about hedging, Back said, and retaining value when there's a lot of money printing in the world. And this is something that I also believe. Now that we're seeing this crisis develop, we might not even need institutional investors because it is the retail investors that need Bitcoin the most. And soon, when banks start to restrict people's access to their own cash, people will get further and further pushed into Bitcoin. So this crisis is of course a disaster, and it's very, very negative. It's very, very bad. But for the Bitcoin price, it can actually be beneficial to see people wake up to the flaws of the monetary system. And this is exactly what I think is going to happen in the next 2 years.